Welcome back to Between Bells. The tale of magic and friendship is captured in Netflix's newest animated comedy, Wish Dragon. The story follows a Chinese teenage boy named Din who finds a teapot containing a magical dragon that grants him 3 wishes. Take a look.
No. I didn't mean that. I take it back.
Give me that.
Ooh, teapot.
Give me that teapot right now.
Joining us now is Jimmy Wong, who voices Din. Jimmy, welcome to the show. So the biggest comparison so far is Aladdin, but can you talk to me about what makes this film different from Aladdin?
Well, one of the things that I've seen quite a lot of discourse around this online is like, oh, it's Aladdin, it's Aladdin. It's like, yeah, this is a very classic traditional story that actually originated from China. The nice thing about this is that this is set in modern day Shanghai. It actually takes on quite an interesting take on the entire sort of story that we're really accustomed to. And I think after about the 30-minute mark, the similarities really start to dissolve and you get a really beautiful movie that is much more sort of made for our current generation. And also sort of a lot of the things that are going on societally in terms of what it means to really connect with someone and what it means to be friends with them too.
I love this. Wish Dragon is ranked in Netflix's top 10. At one point, it was ranked at number 1. Congratulations. What's it been like getting all this positive response from this movie, Jimmy?
It's great. You know, I obviously am no stranger to the internet. I was also in, numerous other things in the past, and people definitely let you know how they feel about something when it comes out or when they see it. So for once, it's great to just have almost universal positive feedback about something. I've heard from friends and family. I just watched it with my wife's dad yesterday, and we all had a good cry over it as well. So it's just been nice to see a movie that can really touch people, and I think animation has that ability to really reach beyond its bounds and get in front of eyes that never would have felt or really understood and had this story for them otherwise.
Just watching the trailer, the parts of the movie that we're showing, it looks incredible. I can't wait to see this at home. What inspiration did you draw from your own life when voicing this character?
So Din is like a really happy-go-lucky, very wholesome, and in a way sort of naive. At one point, the character says, "So smart, yet so stupid" about him. And I really love that about the character. So for me, I was really thinking back to when I was a kid and when I enjoyed things for what they were and really embraced the world and had more of an innocence about me, a naivete, I suppose, that sort of gets hardened over time with life. So it was really nice to be able to draw upon my prior experiences and the joy that I felt, playing a video game for the first time or hanging out with a brand new friend, and those memories that really resonate with me, really being able to pull from that and less so from the later part of my life when things seem a bit more doom and gloom.
One of the many things I love about this movie is the cast is made up of mostly Asian American cast members. I absolutely love that. Why is it so important to have this kind of representation in Hollywood, Jimmy?
Yeah, representation is a word that gets thrown around a lot. I'm sure people are sick and tired of hearing of it at some point. But for me, it's still extremely important because, COVID just happened. We had an entire pandemic, and traveling around the world is something that people just aren't going to be doing anytime soon. And I think the most important thing about, seeing stuff in movies, in theaters, in animation, in different worlds is that it gives us a glimpse into another culture, another society, and shows us what life might be across the pond. And I think, there's a lot of misinformation running around out there. There's a lot of negative stereotypes about different parts of the world, especially these days with the amount of anti-Asian hate we see in the United States. So I think movies like this provide an opportunity for people to just catch a glimpse of something they never would have seen otherwise, and hopefully at the end of it recognize that we're all just human at the end of the day.
I love that message. You've actually been a really big advocate against racism that many Asians have been facing in our country throughout the pandemic. Do you think enough is being done to combat this?
I mean, is enough being made to combat any amount of racism that's happened in the world? I mean, as we've seen within this last year, people are willing to stand up and fight for what's right and speak out and try to make meaningful change and reform in our systems. But it's a really hard thing to do. We're all small cogs in a giant machine, and there's so many forces at play that we don't necessarily have access to changing. We are in an era where the biggest most rich man in the world is flying off in a spacecraft and people are petitioning for him not to come back. Obviously, that's not going to change anything. So I think when it comes to fixing the problems that are in front of us, the best we can do is lead by example and work on the people that we know we have influence on, our family members, our friends, the people around us, And from there, that effect can have a butterfly effect and move on outwards from that. You know, rallies and stuff and working together with local communities are a great way to start, and we just have to keep that momentum going.
So well said, Jimmy. As more viewers watch this film because it's doing so well on Netflix, what do you hope viewers take away?
I just want people to enjoy themselves at the end of the day. And, you know, like you all were saying on your program earlier, I would love for a return to the movies to happen. And I think the only way for people to remember just how great movies are to keep watching them, and for them to watch movies that are high quality, well produced, well made. Huge shout out to Sony Pictures Animation for making this project come true. Base Effects, Tencent Pictures, Jackie Chan's company, Sparkle Roll, Chris Applehans, Aaron Warner, the director and producer duo. There's just so many great parts about this movie for a collaboration to come together and make it work on a big scale. So I just want people to enjoy it and hopefully catch a glimpse of a world they've never seen before.
I can't wait to watch it with my family. Thank you so much for your time. Jimmy Wong, you can catch Wish Dragon right now on Netflix.